Hello and welcome back to Podcast with a K. I'm your host, Carla with a K. You're listening to 90.1 WECS FM, and I'm joined in the studio tonight by Jorge, Cris, and Rodrigo. What's up, y'all?
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Welcome back to the show. We've had you guys on together, individually, etc. And it's been a while. How's it feel to be back?
I actually really enjoy this. Sorry, Jorge.
I like the...
really
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is... I love it. I love everything about this, especially here now with my roommates.
Yes, the
That's
lads.
right.
That's right.
We
Last
are
time
roommates
y'all weren't together yet. Now y'all are a whole entity.
Yeah, it was just a plan before.
Now it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Rodrigo, this is your first time back since the last time we hosted y'all on the show.
Yeah, last year.
You had fun last time?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Glad to have you back. All right, y'all. Well, last time that you heard us talk here on Podcast with a K, we were getting ready to be absolutely extra and ridiculous and camp out for Bad Bunny tickets. If you didn't know, that was what we were up to. I did a quick little disclaimer at the end of the show, nobody get in my way, and it worked out because, I got tickets, but I also had to sit out in the cold since 3 a.m.
Since 3?
Yeah, it was like 3.
I thought you got there like at 4.
Well, the plan was to leave at 4, get there around 5, but I checked Snapchat just out of curiosity, and I saw that at 3 a.m. there were already people there, and I was like, oh, shoot. So decided to come and check out the scene, and there were a lot more people than I expected, so I was just like, hey, friends, if we're doing this, it's now. So people showed up. Y'all didn't camp out.
The hype was real. Bad Bunny.
The hype was real.
No, I did not camp out. Actually, I was going to, but I decided to sleep in instead.
But
what?
But you still got ticket, huh?
I did still get tickets, yes. Shout out to Martha for that proxy. A lot of people had like mixed feelings on that because there were some people that waited in line to
It's kind of cheating.
Yeah, you cheated the system, Jorge.
I mean,
And they
it's
didn't get
available to
tickets.
everybody.
It is,
Yeah,
but
no, I
the
I mean, now it doesn't really matter
it
now
doesn't.
since everyone got tickets.
Well, yeah, I think almost everyone.
Yeah.
Almost everyone. But the real purpose of those I had heard was just if you had work or class. But
Or wanted
Well,
to sleep in.
Or wanted to
apparently
sleep
that's
in.
also an
Yeah.
option.
I mean, Nor, she just gave it to me. She's like, yeah, use this if you're not able
You
to.
just blast her
I'll
name
take
like that, huh?
Nor?
She's going to get fired now.
It's her job. It's her job.
Chris, you're also going.
Yeah, I also work at the Stu. So I put myself on the waiting list, and another batch came in, and I was in there. So
That's cool. How
I'm
many
going.
more tickets did they end up getting?
I think another batch of 50.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, the waiting list was pretty packed, like right after.
There was
Oh,
only
yeah, I
50
assume.
tickets
So 50 to start.
at the beginning.
Yeah. I know.
And
But they
Dang.
didn't expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was confused whenever I heard that. Like, they were shocked by how many people showed up, and I'm like, if you didn't expect this to succeed, why would you book a trip to this artist in the first place?
But I mean, like, different artists haven't booked in the past, but it's never like gotten to this level. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
like a Boston trip will go on sale,
Right.
and it'll sell out on the first day, but throughout the day, like not
Never
first thing
all
in the morning,
one go.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, like when we went to watch the one comedian.
Aziz
Aziz
Ansari.
Ansari.
Yeah, not a lot of people went. It was
To be
The
fair,
bus was empty.
concerts are usually bigger hits than other types of shows. Although I did go to see Aziz Ansari because I love the man.
it was kind
He's
of funny.
hilarious.
He's
Yeah.
pretty
I
dope,
liked
yeah.
it.
It was cool. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was surprised that so many people were out there because I honestly, like, me and my friends were just like, we should just kind of go just for the hype, just to see what's up,
Yeah.
We didn't expect other people to also be out here. And then, like, after we showed up, people started finding out that everyone was there. So
Do you think people went out for the experience because they just wanted some tickets?
I think people wanted to ensure that they'd have tickets, but a part of the experience was just being out there because I
Yeah.
know some of our friends were out there from 10 at night, which was, unnecessary and
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Nah, the 10?
10.
10 at night. Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
A whole tent.
A whole tent, bro. People were actually camping out.
I mean, $40 to see like class
The-
A artists.
one of the
you know what
Pretty
I mean?
much the biggest Latin
I
artist
get
of the
it.
moment, yeah.
I get it.
You
So-
were going to camp out originally.
originally, yeah, but then
We just left way earlier
I wanted
than
to sleep.
expected, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Sleep is important.
Nothing wrong with sleeping, Jorge.
Nothing at all.
Justify your actions, Jorge, why don't you?
Huh?
Rodrigo, you're not going.
No, I wasn't here like on campus or in Connecticut for when the ticket went on sale.
Would you
so-
have camped out?
To be fully honest with you, if they had camped out, I probably would have gone messed around.
So you would have gone for the hype, not for necessarily for the show.
The hype.
But I feel like for you, it'd probably depend on the artist.
Yeah, like if it was like Post Malone,
Yeah,
is one of my
Okay.
favorite
Heck
artists,
yeah.
I would definitely camp out.
for sure.
Understandable. Okay, so I guess that raises a good question. Do y'all actually like listen to Bad Bunny heavy enough to like have camped out? Because I personally, I listened to him and I started listening to him because he would be on like the Spotify Latin playlist on like my
Mhm.
Discover recently. But then it wasn't until I came here and like met a bunch of people that listened to him heavy that I started getting into the music. But like honestly, I did it kind of for the hype, but also because this is a show that I want to see, not necessarily for the arts. Obviously, like now I've listened to Bad Bunny, but the show people have hyped up so much, and like from the standpoint of someone that wants to go into like production, like it's amazing. Like I think the last show he did that people went to see here, it was just like kind of him on a normal stage, and the entire show was just kind of like lights and projections, and like there was a part where he's just kind of like, it looks like he's walking on clouds because like the entire set's just lights and sound.
Wow.
And so for like such a simple set, it's like astounding that it looked so good. So I was like, this is something that I want to see.
Bad Bunny, I actually used to listen to him like my junior year of high school. I think I started listening to him. It was, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Back then he used to like be in a lot of remixes and
Right.
with a lot more people, not just him alone.
Yeah.
And over the time,
He was the new Pitbull. His person was featuring.
over time, as time went by, I started listening to more artists like J Balvin and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I kind of like drifted away from Bad Bunny.
Right.
Not gonna say I don't like him, but
He's
he is
not your
not
main.
my favorite like Latin artist.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite Latin artist?
Probably
Mm.
Ozuna.
Ozuna?
Osuna.
Shit.
What about y'all?
I like J Balvin. Bad Bunny's not bad either. You know, just the big ones. I don't really have like one go to. I listen to like a lot of different
I
like.
listen to like all of them really.
Yeah.
But as far as Bad
Equally.
Bunny goes,
I feel like what made the whole camp out experience so worth it was sure, the experience, I guess, but it's just really affordable. Like
Yes.
$40 for
yeah.
concert of his level. Like
I think last
feel
year
like it's very
the
worth
people
it.
that played, like the kids that went to see him, it was like $100 or so, right?
Yeah,
It was up there,
So-
up there.
I was looking at the
I get
tickets like when I realized everyone was camping out. I was in Georgia. I was like, man, I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
So I started looking at the tickets. The cheapest ones were like 65 though. It was like $25 less.
Yeah.
But I figured there'll be better seats than the cheapest ones that I saw.
So the seats that I looked, they're like right next to the stage where he performs. So like
Like the tickets that we got?
yeah, the tickets we got, we're like he's on the stage and we can like look up and see him, and then behind us are the seats. So,
Really?
like, yeah.
Wait, so we do have floor tickets?
Yeah.
So what I heard
Yeah.
was that it's the whole arena is one floor.
Okay.
So whatever
Okay.
tickets you have are good places to be. You know what I mean? That's
So
as good
it's-
as it gets.
Okay.
But I mean, I know like Bad Bunny performances, it's always like in the center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's people like surrounding him.
Right. So you
So-
could be behind the stage potentially, or
No. It's like in the center,
okay.
the center of like the whole arena.
Oh wait, okay,
right.
got
So
you,
you're
got
just
you.
surrounding him, right? So
Mhm.
there's no like behind or like front area
Yeah.
of the stage.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of artists have started doing that. Like I know
Yeah.
Drake does it as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like because it gives it a stadium show feel as well.
Yeah, especially when you get that big. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Okay, that's really interesting because
Mhm.
I'd heard a lot of like back and forth about what type of tickets we'd gotten too.
Yeah.
Because I'd heard like there was floor and then seating. It was just floor, just seating, and so I'm just like, honestly, the fact that we're gonna be there to begin with is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is centered. There's like one in front of him, one side, one the other side, then one like behind him. So it's like
Mhm.
very like circular and stuff.
Okay.
But then I
Dope.
also saw like stuff like behind where we got the tickets. So I
Right.
don't know if those are seats there or like
Like
are people
GA?
gonna see? I don't know.
I mean, good to know. Either way, I heard it's also like a smaller arena, so
Yeah.
really there's not there's nosebleed seats. Like every seat is a pretty good seat.
I hope so.
Well, yeah. I know people were saying we were kind of ridiculous to think that like Bad Bunny was a big enough artist to camp out. Like even if he is the most popular, like I did hear it get thrown around that he's overrated as an artist or as a performer. And I also heard
Mhm.
people like say that he is a show worth seeing. Thoughts?
I think I don't think he's an overrated artist per se. I do think some of his songs are overrated, and most
Okay.
people just listen to it because it's like his newest song or newest album and whatnot. And sooner or later they'll realize that the song's not actually as good as some of those songs that were getting less plays.
Yeah, that I agree with. It's always like the singles that do well.
I think he has great work. I love his work. I love his music, but I think his shows are incredible. Like from what I've seen, like every other day, like a video of his at a concert will go like viral on my Twitter feed. You know what I mean? They look crazy. They look really fun. So people like that. People like, it's really appealing. So I get it.
And he really seems to engage with the audience as well, right?
Yeah.
That's always good.
A lot of diehards.
Yeah.
I haven't been to any of his shows, so I wouldn't know how it's like to see him perform live. But like I said, like a couple of friends went to go see him last year, so they said that he was good. So I'll have to wait and find out.
I guess so.
But I mean, his music good. Like,
Yeah, his music's good, but like
musically, he's like
musically,
really
his music is good. But some performers, when they perform live, it's different.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know.
really like the same studio recording
and
stuff.
like even when you see artists perform at like the New Year's Eve thing, I know people didn't like Katy Perry's performance a few years ago. Mariah Carey.
Mariah
as well.
Carey's
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Yeah, some people are just better
Yeah.
in the studio than they are on the stage, but it'd be like that sometimes.
I guess it also depends on the genre. Of
that
music.
too.
You know what I mean? Because Bad Bunny, like, it's pretty lit. Like, you
Yeah.
have fun, but
And like the show is like high energy and stuff. And I
Yeah.
know last week we discussed the controversial topic that is Beyonce. But not just her. Like there's other like big artists that like they are hyped a lot, and then their shows live up to their expectations. So like Beyonce is a great performer. Like her shows are worth
Travis
like, all of
Scott's concerts, bro.
the
Yo,
sets
I
for
hate those
Travis
shows.
Scott
Insane.
shows, dude.
dude, people like
Oh my god.
people come out like with broken bones out of there.
yeah. I wanted to see him when he was here last year because like the sets themselves are so
Yeah.
like they're masterpieces, but I think the show was like postponed until like later
And-
notice. I was like, nah, not worth it.
I
Yeah,
watched
I
the
heard-
documentary on him on Netflix.
Yeah.
And he puts a lot of emphasis on that, like
Yeah,
giving
like
the crowd
visuals.
like a great experience, and,
Right.
like, a great concert.
Because if you want to listen to the music, listen to
Mhm.
the music. But when you go to a concert, you're there for a
Yeah,
show,
like
right?
he's very, from what I saw in the documentary, he's very involved in like
Yeah.
the production process, which I don't think a lot of artists are.
No,
so.
I remember like Bieber got hate because at first like everything was super planned and like it made for a good show because everything was kind of done for him. But then towards not the end of his musical career, but like towards the later years of like his shows, he didn't really do much for his sets. Like people were
Yeah.
mad that he just kind of sat on stage singing, and it's like, bro, we paid like $1,000 and you didn't even do anything.
I know a few friends who went to over the summer. They went to Rolling Loud
Oh yeah,
down in Miami, I think it was.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's the one where Travis Scott was at, and everybody was just going like off the videos and
That's
everything I
wild.
saw.
Yeah.
They were going wild about it. It was
Right.
a really good show. One of my friends, he had some Vans on, and one of
Mhm.
his like just ripped from like all the jumping around and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, he's a really talented performer.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into performing that I don't think people realize. And people are like, oh, well, artists could do more for their fans in terms of going to shows and doing tours and stuff. And I'm like, there's so much planning that goes into it. And especially because you can't really do the same thing every single night. Like that would get exhausting as a person. So props to like artists that keep the shows lit like consistently throughout, especially the ones that tour like year round without taking breaks.
That's true. Dang, that's
Yeah.
wild.
The whole process is like very, like you gotta respect the grind. Some of these artists, they go out and perform, and then the next day they're back in the studio making
Yeah.
music, and then it's a constant cycle of making music, creating stuff, and then performing, doing
Right.
that stuff over and over and again. And that's the life stuff.
And burnout is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very tiring.
And then
Yeah.
trying to keep your music like at the level you set it at.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard when you're tired and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But that can also be like the best part of that, the business too, is creating the music, because the process I feel like is so enjoyable, just like making your beats or making like the melodic, tuning, using different like audio like applications like FL Studio, stuff like that.
Right.
And you can like see the music you're creating and then putting that out and seeing what people like. It's all, I think the process is like very enjoyable.
I know some people, like some artists that I've seen that take their like production and like they make their music on the go, like in concerts. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
put like the whole production set on the bus and like they perform and then they make music right after, which I think is wild.
Yeah, like and they'll
Yeah.
work like on the way to new shows, right?
Yeah.
Especially the ones that
Mhm.
are like cross country.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Honestly, like that's a lifestyle that I feel like would be cool for a bit, but like we said, it would get so tiring so quick unless you're the type of person that can live like that, you know? Because some people like to have like a moment to breathe, a moment to themselves, have like a normal apple pie life, but
Mhm.
performers don't really get to see that very much.
Yeah, but they get hella money.
They
That
do get
is
money.
true.
They do get money.
All for the
I'm
bread.
sure that makes up for it.
But
I guess so,
Even
yeah.
with money though, I feel like you need like something more, because I know a couple days ago this tour manager for A Boogie came to ECSU, and they told us about like some of like the dark side of like the music industry, and how burnout is such a big comment that a lot of artists, they need like a good friend, or like someone like they like a girlfriend or a wife, someone to keep them happy, so they
Yeah.
can feel like they have like an actual life outside of music.
Yeah, he also mentioned how people kind of complain that on tours you see people that don't really do anything, just kind of like, they're just like, bro, why'd you have so many hype men on your stage? And it's like, these are the kids that keep them sane, you know?
That's very
Like having someone to
important.
turn to that you can confide in that's not a part of the industry.
Like my roommates.
They're all doing air hearts at each other
Oh,
right now.
man.
Yes,
For those of y'all that can't see.
Yes.
At some point, I really do want to get the video streaming in here to work just so people can see you guys as well as hear y'all. But, all right, let's take, you mentioned Post Malone earlier.
Yeah, I love Post Malone.
You got a song?
Posty.
You got a song by your boy you want us to listen to?
Hollywood's Bleeding is one of my favorites.
Yes.
Great album.
Got anything?
The album
That
is
album
beautiful. I
went
love
crazy.
it.
The art for it is really
I like
cool
it.
too. I like visuals.
He has
but
a whole like
Like a-
vibe going for him.
yeah.
Like,
Whole
it
vibe,
works
man.
it's
really
an
good.
entire aesthetic.
Yeah.
I saw someone.
What, bro? Why are you?
Yo,
Post Malone, Post Malone,
go crazy, man.
All right, so let's take a break for that.
Stay
Without
stony.
further
Stay
ado,
stony.
here is Hollywood's Leading by Post Malone. Post Malone does it again. It's a good song, honestly. The beat drop's amazing.
Are you good?
Yo, tell him what you did to me earlier
Oh.
today.
Oh, dude. So,
Do tell.
I kind of pretend I'm gonna. He's in Chris's room.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know, Chris's room and Jorge's room are right next to each other.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So I like walk out of Chris's room, pretend I'm going into Jorge's room, close the door, but I'm actually just chilling in the bathroom.
Okay.
like I did. He thought I
As
was
one
in his
does.
room.
I thought he would like actually went into my room, so I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, he's in my room. He ain't slick. So I go in my room. I put the code in. I open the door and I don't see him, but I imagine he's like hiding somewhere. So I just go, aha, and then this dude comes from behind me on the back. He goes, aha.
He started running to Chris's room.
Yo, next thing I know, I just see Jorge on the ground collapse.
That shit was funny as hell.
I feel like you guys' in-home dynamic is just one of constantly being on edge, watching your back,
I hate
and
It's quite strange. It's,
no peace.
Sometimes we
You
don't
want
see
to talk
each
about
other.
it?
Sometimes we don't see each other. Sometimes we're always together. It's
Yeah.
really weird.
Sometimes it's a bit too loud.
Loud in what way?
Very, very loud.
Some raging goes down.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
yeah, a lot of
That's what
raging.
later-
Yo,
that's what later it goes.
Segue. All right, let's go ahead and go into that. Raging and how? Relax and tell me about the rage.
Gaming.
Gaming.
You guys
This
all
is
play
gaming.
games. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked
I
about that
don't.
last time y'all were
Not
here.
me. I don't. I'm sorry.
But you play games at home.
I do, yes.
Back home. You do
Back
play
home.
games.
So
But
y'all
not,
play
here.
games.
But not here. But not here.
No, in general,
Not
y'all
here.
play. So y'all keep up with gaming and
Yeah,
such
yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So rage quitting. Discuss.
I'm not
Every
much of a
gamer
rage
has
quitter.
experienced some sort of it.
Yeah.
Some
At-
sort
at a
of
scale.
rage.
I-
Some level of it,
Some
too.
level.
Dude, I play games on such like a passive level because I don't have a console. Like if I play, it's at my
Right.
friend's house, at my cousin's house, or like on my phone. Like whenever PUBG came out, me and my sister stayed on it forever.
Pacheco?
Yes. Don't.
Pacheco.
Why do you always do this?
Checo.
Check.
You heard?
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
my name. Don't wear it out. Yeah, my sister and I would
Okay.
stay on it.
Wow.
And like,
Danny Zuko.
there we go. Good catch. You know, I say that all the time and no one catches the reference. Yeah, and so like Charlotte and I rage quit in very different ways. Like
What's yours?
if she's done, she'll just leave the game. Like she's just out. If I'm done, I'm just like
Yo, don't point at me, dog. Don't
Yo,
point at me.
y'all can see this?
like
That's
I'll
funny.
finish the game and I'll be like, bruh, this is everything that went wrong. All right, now that I got that all out, I'm out. Goodbye. Like you gotta analyze. You can rage quit, just know for the better next
Yeah.
time.
Different games make me rage differently because some games are like, if you lose a lot more than in some other games.
But Travis Scott would be so happy right now.
Yes, sir. Travis Scott. Baby.
Like when we play, me and Chris play Rocket League. We play ranked, and let's just say yesterday we had a pretty rough time playing. We played for like an hour and lost every game. Dude.
I want to hear Jorge's perspective on this because he was there. Like,
no, he saw one part,
right? So
and that's the part that I did bad.
He heard me laugh my ass off too. I'm like, because they were tied. They weren't tied, but they were one goal away from tying.
Right.
And Chris did like this sexy like hit on the ball. It was going towards goal. Rodrigo just had to put it in and they'd be tight. And it was only like 10 seconds left or something. I'm like, all right, babe, we're going overtime. And then Rodrigo just fucks it up. The game ends and I'm fucking die. And I just hear Chris like yelling out, Rodrigo.
Now let me tell you the beautiful pass I made for Chris. And when I look at where the ball's going, it's perfect. All he had to do is just tap it in. And Jorge, and I kid you not, this dude is inside the goal. I'm like, why are you in the goal, dude?
Oh my goodness.
We went down a rank.
Quick backstory.
Yes.
Rocket League, for those who do not know, it's a game about cars and soccer
So
had a baby, and it's Rocket League.
You're
not
a
just
car,
cars though, 'cause
giant
they can
soccer
fly.
ball.
They can fly. They can fly. The cars can fly.
Well, you can like launch yourself into the sky.
Yeah.
Forward style.
Yo, the training for that is intense too, because like you realize how bad you are at it by like the fact that you can't do it like by yourself, not even with like a whole squad.
You got good, Rodrigo.
It's
Like you started playing last year.
We started playing in November of last year.
Yeah.
And Chris found a lot of enjoyment in beating me when I didn't know how to play.
Right.
So I was like, this cannot stand. And so we spent the whole second semester just grinding Rocket League, trying to get better. Both of us, like I do got to give it to you. He had patience because he would play with me knowing damn well I didn't know what I was doing half the time. And now we're both
that's
like
good.
similar
level.
I'm like 2 ranks under him. We're close.
Okay,
like,
and that's not bad at all.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Jorge, have you ever played Rocket League or been into it other than just listening to your voice?
When I first came out, I played it for a couple of because you know I was like, what's this all about? But now, not really. I don't really play, but I do like watch these two play because they're always screaming in there. So I'm like, I gotta go see what's up.
Rocket League is one of the more entertaining games to watch people play as well because everyone plays it differently and everyone reacts differently. Like on Twitch, I would like at first I was like, bro, it's just car soccer. What is the point? But like once you start like getting a taste for like people's like personalities in game, it's just like, bro, this is the most riveting thing ever.
Because there's some really toxic people out there in that game.
Yes, there are.
In everything.
Just gaming, yeah. I know Jorge, like
in general.
You have a history with Dota 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You put in a
Which
lot
I've
of hours.
Never heard of that until I met you.
Really?
But you know what's crazy? Like,
because that's a
Dota 2
PC
is
game,
huge.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's a huge game.
I never cared for PC gaming, to be fully honest.
But you could argue like it's the biggest platform out there.
Yeah. Like I didn't really care much for it, but like I heard about it and I knew about it just because like it's non-stop, like constantly one of the biggest discussions in gaming for like PC. Just like on the internet, if you have the internet, you'll know about Dota.
Yeah, it's a very fun game for me because I feel like, to me, in my opinion, it's the most strategic game like out there. No other game like comes close.
But like in my opinion, it's not fun to watch. Maybe to play, I get it. But to me,
it's
like
not,
watching,
if
like
you're
it's
watching,
not
you
wouldn't
know what the fuck's
yeah,
going
that's
on.
what I'm saying.
Methodical.
But it's weird because like it has a huge viewership.
Right. So it's
You know what I
like
mean?
if you're really good at the game, you'll enjoy like watching this at the highest. Just like it's the same with Chris watching like high level professionals play Rocket League. Like that shit's so
There's
fun
high
to
level
watch.
professionals that play Rocket League?
Like
question mark?
It's stuff like that. Seeing someone that when you're enjoying doing something like a sport or anything, you like seeing people that are better than you.
That's true.
Do
Yeah,
the thing.
because you can learn from them.
Yeah, you find entertainment in that, and that's what I feel.
So that's what I was gonna say about Dota. I feel like if you know the game and if you play the game, watching it is more entertaining than if you don't, because it's kind of like Arma is the game that PUBG is based on, and it's a lot more like methodical and like everything is strategic, and like you sit there and you watch it and there's so much of nothing going on for so long, and it's just like, how could this have morphed into that? Because watching PUBG, well, I guess when it first came out, now it's kind of like repetitive, but
Fortnite.
Also Fortnite.
Oh no.
Disgusting.
Dude, is Dota like League of Legends? Like
Dota
on a
is
scale? Like,
if I were to say Dota is something, it's the Wakanda PC gaming.
Wakanda.
what does that even mean?
Forever.
It means it's so amazing,
Wakanda
but no one
forever.
knows about it. It's like so secluded to its own community.
So,
So it's
that
nothing
no
to
one
do
knows
with
about
League
it.
of Legends.
No,
No,
it's
it-
two different like
But like,
two different
It's like
realms
different,
entirely.
because I have played League of
It's
Legends.
the
Yeah.
Wakanda of PC gaming. What a comparison.
Yes,
Jorge.
sir. I mean,
Wakanda.
It's amazing.
it's
no one
amazing,
knows
but no
about
one
it.
really knows about it. Like stuff.
Okay, respect.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
What was I think we were talking about this, and you told me that the prize pool for Dota 2 not too long ago. Like, what was it?
It was 33 million.
Yeah, it was
$33
Holy
million
crap.
dollars.
Shit go fucking crazy.
insane.
Then why aren't you playing?
Dude, I am so bad at this game. I'm good, but I can't compete with like these high professional. You need so many hours into this game. Like it's
How many
crazy.
hours do you have?
Like around 6,000 or something like
That's
that.
wild.
6,000 hours.
6,000 hours. And I'm pretty good. So like what'd you say your ranking is in
What?
Rocket League? Yeah.
Platinum.
Platinum.
What do you think the percentage of that is of all players? Like top what percent do you think?
I have no idea.
I think it's like top. I was looking at it. I think it's like top 55, top 45% are like platinum and higher than that.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
me, compared to my ranking in the game Dota, I am top 15% of players like
That
who
is
plays the game.
insane, Jorge.
Yeah. But professionals, they're the top 0.01%.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of players.
On Apex, like me and my friend, we play ranked on Apex too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if y'all know about Apex Predator, the Apex Legends.
Me.
No, not you. You're actually really.
I'm an Apex Predator, bro.
He said, "Y'all hear something?"
And me and my boy are like top 2%. Given I doubt as much people play Apex as they play Dota.
Yeah,
But
sure.
It's pretty high ranked over there.
Because like you said, there's a lot of people that play Dota, and the best of the best are such a small percentage. Because like Rocket League and Apex and like even PUBG, like it's just so oversaturated, and people kind of like reach a certain level and then they plateau. You know?
Mhm.
It's different because like it's weird because different companies market their games differently.
Yeah.
I know Dota 2 is marketed by Steam,
Mhm.
right? They don't market anything, like
Yeah.
absolutely
Valve
anything,
does
right?
It's like
nothing,
if
bro.
you know,
Valve
you
does
know.
absolutely nothing, right?
Mhm.
Which I guess it's worked for
Yeah.
them if they're still around. But other companies like Blizzard, like they'll go out of
Yeah.
their way to promote their
Blizzard.
games, right?
Overwatch,
Epic.
dude, that shit went crazy.
Mhm.
Epic.
Bruh, everyone
Games.
Hey, they
use
have our
creator
favorite
code
game on
whatever
there.
for. Anyway, yeah,
there. Every
Fortnite,
other ad on YouTube is TikTok or Epic.
and it's always
TikTok.
like there's so many new people that are like sponsored by Fortnite. You'll be watching like the most like ridiculous thing, and you'll see a Fortnite ad, and I'm just like, how do these things correlate?
Where do we all stand on TikTok?
Okay.
It's quite entertaining.
I-
You use TikTok now.
I
It's
just got it
gross.
like a few days ago.
Do
I
you-
always made fun of
It's
it.
Are you-
disgusting.
I was one of those people because originally it was Musical.ly.
It was
Yeah.
musically.
But now it transformed to
And
TikTok.
I
And
would
I
make
hated
fun of it.
Musical.ly.
I hated Musical.ly. I would make fun of it, but
Yeah.
now they're doing like sketches. and stuff
Okay,
like
I was
that
gonna
on
say.
there.
So it was originally Musically, and it turned into TikTok once Vine
Rip,
got
rest in
canceled,
peace,
shut down,
Vine.
etc.
Vine 2 is still coming
And
out.
so people
No.
started using Musically to do. It was lip syncing, right? And people started using Musically to do like funnier and funnier things to songs. Yeah, like doing the woe and so anything, everything. And so it's transformed into TikTok, and people started doing actual sketches. But it was weird because Musically was kids. It was mostly like
Yeah, it
actual
was.
children. And all of a sudden, TikTok became really, really strange, cringy content from adults with a few like.
There's some edgy stuff on there.
I don't know,
Yes.
dude. I don't get it. I don't
with
like
a few
it.
youth
It's
mixed in
weird.
doing Vine type
I've sent you some
content.
good TikToks though.
Weird.
I have sent
Some
you some
weird
good
stuff.
TikToks.
Rodrigo
The
always
fact
sends us
that-
some good
The fact that
TikToks.
the phrase "good TikToks" even exists is bizarre to me. How did we
Yeah.
enter this timeline?
How do
It's
you
a-
name your
it's a
app
gift.
TikTok?
be honest.
TikTok. It's the
Because
TikTok.
it releases
And they spelled it
good
like the
content
song by
every
Kesha.
minute of the day.
TikTok.
TikTok.
No,
Ooh,
no,
shit.
I hate you. Take your ads somewhere else.
No, I think they did really good at like marketing because they saw
yes,
Musically
do
was for the
that
kids,
anywhere.
and they're like, yo, we need to like find out a way how we can market this to a much older
The
audience.
apps that I use
like,
to
bam,
edit
TikTok.
photos and flyers,
Yeah.
all of the ads are TikTok. The banner is TikTok. The 5-second whatever nonsense that plays
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna pay for editing. Do I look? But like every single ad you see on there is TikTok, and I've been seeing it since before like it really took off after Musically. But it's like we don't have Vine anymore. Vine was such a successful platform that people are kind of like still itching for that like short form content because it's like. It's just kind of like when people do like jokes, right? Like you have a stand-up comedian does a bunch of like little short jokes. That's what TikTok and Vine and like all of these things are. Because YouTube changed their algorithm, right? Like the most successful videos are like 10 minutes long, And it's just like, bro, if I wanted to watch something like that, I'd just watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I know for Vine, like it took a good bit for Vine to like really rise and get up
My
there.
sister watched Vine for a long time before I even decided to pay
Yeah.
attention to it, and I didn't
used to
get into
love
Vine
Vine.
until the end of it.
Yeah, Vine was great.
That was something else.
Yeah, I really only paid attention to Vine for like the last 2 years of its
Mhm.
life. Charlotte was on it for like since the beginning. It's insane.
Yeah, that shit took off.
It really did.
I don't know if TikTok will do the same though.
I think
It's already off, dog.
okay, I think TikTok has reached its
False.
peak, honestly.
Ooh,
Really?
But it's
Yes.
pretty high.
It's
Like, a
it's
lot
up
of people
there.
have that.
People
How much downloads
people
does it have?
quote TikToks. People
Yo,
like,
are they paying you?
Yeah, I got a
That
sponsorship.
shit is
I got a
if you're
Sponsors.
doing
sponsorship.
ads, you have to
Pay you?
disclose it.
Yo,
This
add
is
me
an
on
FCC
TikTok.
licensed station. Are you gonna start creating content on TikTok?
No,
Yo,
not at all.
I'm gonna
I
walk
have
into
been-
Rodrigo just a little. Whoa.
I have been thinking about doing content on gaming, and I know we were
Interesting,
talking about this the other day.
So wait, so TikTok,
Streamers.
there's
not,
gamers on
not
it?
TikTok.
Oh.
dog. How can you put?
I don't
There's
know.
60-second clips.
Yo, just do
That's
your
pretty long.
highlights reel.
Highlight.
No, but we were talking about.
Yeah.
doing,
Y'all are gonna
like,
start
some
streaming on Twitch or what?
I think Rodrigo is.
No,
Mhm.
not streaming. Streaming is a grind, and this is a long time
Are you
gaming.
gonna
And
do like highlights or what?
I was thinking about something like that.
I mean,
like,
it's not a
'cause
bad
it's not
idea.
it's not hard to record on the PS4.
Yeah.
Like, right, you just click a button and it
Yeah.
records your last 15 minutes or whatever. you were
Oh,
doing.
that's not
Mhm.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting. Well, if you ever do that, you can always come back on the show and shout yourself out.
What's your name gonna be?
I don't know yet. We can make a joint account, Chris.
No, we are not.
Anyway, what were we talking about before this?
Raging.
Raging, there it is.
Oh,
Every-
yeah, Fortnite.
Mhm.
Epic ads.
Fortnite.
Mhm.
Fortnite. Fortnite recently went through like a change. I don't
A
keep.
metamorphosis.
Yeah. So I
Ooh.
don't play Fortnite. I don't particularly like Fortnite, but I know
Mhm.
a few of the streamers that I watch are very into it. So therefore, I still keep up.
I got off Fortnite a long time ago. Like,
Yeah.
probably like last April.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you were there when I was like, man, this game, I'm done with it. And I got off.
Yeah, you used to grind. You
You-
used to grind pretty hard last.
Yeah,
time.
me
You
and my
dropped
friend-
Fortnite cold turkey.
Yeah, we're just like, we started playing Apex. Me and my friends back home, we started playing
Yeah.
Apex instead. And I find Apex a lot funner because it kind of has like a more Call of Duty
Yeah.
vibe to it. And then we tried again at the beginning of the year. Me, Chris, and Ivan tried playing. And we were just like, man, we played like 2 games. We got like wrecked by a bunch of sweats. And we said, this is it.
Skill ceiling on that game has increased so much,
Dude, I just
To the
I,
point
I
where it's not
don't
fun
know
for
what's
me
going
anymore.
on in that game.
Yeah, you.
I don't
you
know what's
see a
going
guy
on in
running
that
towards
game.
you. He disappeared. He's right above you.
Yeah,
You're just
it's
like,
just
what?
like, what is going
Yeah.
on?
I feel like it also
Can't
didn't.
compete.
The cross console idea was a good concept, but I also think that didn't really help because you have mobile players playing with PC, playing with console. It's a weird mix
Everyone
because
can play.
each player, like, you can only play so well on a certain device, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really smart.
Now
by
they added
Epic, though.
bots.
And
Epic added like bots for like the people like us that
Yes.
stayed behind in the
Right.
old game,
It's like
which are
easy back
easier
into
to
it,
kill
yeah.
and stuff like that.
That's smart. I like that.
I know people were mad that PUBG did that with their mobile app because whenever there aren't enough people for like a full match, you just play against bots. So if you're playing at like a weird hour of the night, or if you're playing in a different region, you're basically just playing
If
against
I'm gonna
computers.
confess, I played one game of PUBG ever. It was
Mhm.
on mobile, the first game, and I was like, "Oh, I won this thing." I went off. I got like 10 kills. I was like, I kind of like this game, and I think it was you or Charlotte that told me
Yeah.
they're just bots, and I was like, "Okay, I'm deleting this game." I'm
The more
done.
you play, the less bots you get. Like, I think the second you rank up, you start playing against like
It's
all
the
real
same thing
people.
with that's how Fortnite is
Yeah.
right now. After because I re-downloaded it, tried it again, and it's weird still
Yeah.
getting back into all that.
You know what's crazy? Like, I thought PUBG like was dead. Like, I
Mhm.
thought it really didn't make much money.
Right.
But I read somewhere the other day that like in China and like Japan,
Yes.
like, the mobile
It's-
platform is huge to
it's
the point where
insane.
like it's like an addiction at this point. Like,
Yeah.
so many people are on it playing on their phones. And yeah, it's wild.
So
I
when
know that also translates over to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like a lot of films that won't do so hot here in the
They
States.
take off in Asia.
You know, take off in Asia. Yeah, so I think it's cool.
And the
It's
thing with
interesting.
it's funny that you'd mentioned that with PUBG specifically
Mhm.
because I remember people used to play on the Asian servers because there were a lot more bots than there were players. And as like the game grew in popularity over there, people started playing on Asian servers just to, like increase their like their skill level because like you're
Yeah.
playing against people who are genuinely good because they put in so many hours.
No, I couldn't do that. too much.
When I game, I like gaming with like a friend. That's my thing. I don't like playing by myself really. That's why I always struggle with, like, I used to play League of Legends.
Right.
But League of Legends is just such a because that was back when I was like in 9th grade. And it was just a lot of time to put into a game. When I was in high school, I was like really busy with like extracurriculars. It was just like, unless my friends were on, I would not play it. And that's the same thing right now. Like, I'll play a few Rocket League games by myself, but if Chris is on, I'll definitely try getting on. Or my friends back home, we'll play Apex together or something.
Right.
It's more fun.
It's more so about the experience, you know.
Yeah, FIFA.
Yeah.
Sometimes I play with Ivan, but
What?
Ivan,
What's wrong with Ivan?
No, Ivan gets too into FIFA. Let's just say.
He takes the game rather seriously.
You heard him.
I did.
You heard him.
I mean, I can relate to that though, because I used to play FIFA 15 back then, and when I was like actually pretty good at it, and no other game would make me rage as hard as FIFA.
What would you do? Like what? Would you just scream?
What was
or,
your
like, throw
peak of your
things, or, like,
rage?
My peak of my rage, I would scream so loud, like my parents would hear me like, what's going on? It's because like EA is such an awful company that the way they make their games, it's so bad.
Yeah,
Like the last minute aids, like you heard of that, right? Last minute corners, the EA.
I call that last minute cheese.
You know,
that's what me and my brother call it.
And you know what's happening. You can't do anything about it. Like it's like it's rigged to a point, and that's what like really like triggers me, because it's like, why am I playing? Why am I good, or like is the game like gonna win for me or not?
Right.
You know.
You just scream.
And yeah, I just scream.
How about you, Chris?
Like rage?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I'll scream. I'll get so.
We just like holler into the night.
I know. Sometimes I have my window open and I rage, and I'm like, dang it! And I know everybody outside.
Dang it!
Dang it!
Yes, on the radio I say, dang it.
It's a bit more foul than that.
I want to say that.
Well, thank you for keeping.
Keeping
God
dang this.
Gosh darn it! At the risk of sounding too silly.
But you know what? Like I've never thrown an object out of rage.
No,
gaming.
No. I've never broken any controllers either.
I have. Like, okay, so I used to play with, like I said, I used to play PUBG specifically with Charlotte, and like that was the game that like I don't think I've ever gotten so mad about something, and it was because we were playing with we were doing random squads, so we were trying to level up, and two of our teammates the entire time they're just kind of like talking, like not taking the game seriously, and Charlotte and I are about to hit platinum. Because it's ranked. Because when you lose a game, you drop in rank, and so we basically we just try to make it top 10 because you're pretty much safe. Like if you lose the game, you still don't really lose that many points. And these two literally they started trying to frag the people outside, and they we couldn't find them. We're in the circle. We can't see anyone. And so yo, let's just blow ourselves up. And Charlotte and I didn't really used to mic.
Off context? That sounds awful.
Sorry, we're talking about video games. And so they released 6 at the same time. And so Charlotte and I tried to leave the house that we're hiding in. And we dropped I think we dropped 2 or 3 ranks that day. I was just like, bro, I cannot believe this. I force quit every app. We were in the same house, but I was in the room. Charlotte was in the living room. I just yelled. I was like, Charlotte, I can't do it. Hit me up in a week. And so whenever I quit, I locked everything. I threw my phone. I was like, that was a stupid idea. But
in Rocket League, nothing's worse than there's bad teammates. No, there's bad opponents all the time. They're always talking smack. You don't save the ball, they say what a save. They're talking smack.
Yeah,
but whatever, they're your opponents. You're supposed to try to beat them,
of course.
But then there's nothing worse than your teammate being toxic,
dude,
because there's this little quick chat option that you just press 2 buttons and you send a message, and they'll spam this one that says wow. So when they're mad and you're mad at each other, you're just like wow the whole time.
That's funny.
Toxicities.
I think one of the quick chat options on PUBG was impressive, and so anytime someone messages,
I'd be mad. I'd be so mad.
That's what Charlotte and I will do. It's if our teammates are being dumb, it's just impressive. Especially when you're trying to drive into the circle, because people don't know how to drive in the game, and they'll just crash into every single thing. Especially when you're on a bridge, it's so easy to fall into the rivers.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
We love it.
Hate it. All right. Enough on games. Let's do another music break.
Yes.
Who wants to do their song? Jorge, hit us with a song.
I want to play the Hype Berlin version. This song actually came out recently, like I think Friday. So it's pretty new.
It did, and you've been trying to learn it.
I have been trying to learn it because it just sounds so amazing.
It's good. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's one of he like remixed one of his old songs.
Yeah.
Is it on Spotify?
It's on Spotify.
It is.
The version you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was listening to it the other day, and I'm just like, I'm shook. 21 Pilots is. I'm glad that they're transcending their previous reputation.
They've
like-
evolved a lot.
Yes.
And not a lot of like bands can do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like rooting for them, honestly. But all right, without further ado, here is the hype. Switching topics, because we were talking earlier about the prize pool for some of these gaming competitions. Like
Yes.
gaming as esports, like the term esports is insane.
Yeah.
Up to like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago,
Yeah.
it was like laughed at, like the whole esports
Yeah,
thing.
esports was just kind of ridicule. It was a ridicule, honestly.
They, like the idea of esports being in the Olympics got brought up and it got shut down very
heavy.
fast. Very fast, yeah.
But I mean, that money though.
But to be honest, I don't think it should be in the Olympics.
Nah, the
No.
Olympics I think are a celebration of like human
It's
capability.
It's just a old.
Really?
It's like an old thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know. The Olympics
It's
I
like an old
think are their
tradition.
own
They've
thing.
been doing it since like.
I feel like esports has the potential to be its own thing, because like you're saying, the Olympics are kind of like there's a structure, you know, there's a rhythm.
They've been
to
doing it since a long time ago, like Greek times.
ancient Greek.
I mean,
times,
it's
yeah.
not like video games need it, to be honest.
Yeah, they're
just
doing
fine.
great.
Just fine without it. So.
But just kind of like a worldwide competition would be cool to see, because like we were talking, like Asia has a huge like I guess audience for certain games, as opposed to in the US and anywhere else really. So it would be interesting to see how different countries have different players and just like different skill sets.
I think also sponsorships as have been on the come up. With
Yeah.
a lot of these games, a lot of these players
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Like when Ninja left Twitch. To
Yeah.
join, what's the other one
It's the
called?
Microsoft one, right?
Mixer.
Yeah.
Mixer.
Yes, sir.
Wild.
Big stuff
I
happening.
wonder how much he got paid for that.
A
Sure.
lot.
They're saying like some like millions.
Yeah.
something like
Millions,
that.
Yeah,
bro.
but like-
Millions, bro.
Like I said, I never really kept up with Fortnite or with Ninja or anything. Do y'all know if like
He's still really big.
do you know if Mixer like benefited that much from it?
Mixer.
I'm sure they did.
Like you
I
think
know
they made their
a
money
couple
back?
other
Most.
streamers went with him to Mixer.
For you to leave a platform that you have used for like the past 10 years
And a platform
that
that
you exploded in and you've built like your whole audience in, to go to a completely new one that's not very well known about,
yeah,
this guy must have been paid so much money.
Yes.
So much money.
especially because it was kind of a symbiotic relationship with Ninja and Twitch.
Mhm.
You know, like they both benefited heavy from each other.
But then like I don't know if you guys saw his wife's statements on why they left Twitch.
Why?
Like the contracts were ridiculous, like the amount of hours he had to actually be on stream per
oh,
day.
really?
Yeah, and like he
Wild.
couldn't be idle for like more than I don't know, like 30 minutes
Oh,
every
no.
stream is
Damn.
like a 10-hour stream.
Whoa, that I did not know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
tough.
I mean, but you know, if you like what you're doing, which I
Yeah.
doubt a lot of them do like what they're doing at some point, because it does get repetitive.
And toxic.
Yeah,
Very toxic. Especially the chat. Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people just hating the whole time.
Yeah.
Like people really just sit there and hate
For real, dude.
for no reason, just for like an hour long.
Yeah, and that's a problem with like
Chris, this is not ASMR.
Oh, okay.
with big time streamers these days. They play these games and like they get very
Stop! I swear to God, we're not doing ASMR.
what was I saying?
Anyway, back to what we were saying.
Right, so these streamers, they
Right.
get very like hate message in the chat and it gets really hard to like concentrate. And most of these streamers, they don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff, but it gets to them. Like the LOL toxic, LOL trash, you know,
Oh,
lol.
you're bad. You're
They
bad.
start- yeah, you're bad. You're spamming. Even if you like mess up in like the tiniest thing, the chat will call that
They're
out.
just like,
Especially with an
"Ha ha,"
audience
and you start
that
questioning
big,
yourself.
because with an audience that big, it's not just one person out
Mhm.
here trying to be like
He has like
funny.
30,000 like viewers all at once.
He peaked at, what was that one Drake,
The
Travis
Drake,
Scott,
yeah.
stream
Drake,
He-
Juju,
I think it was
the best.
How much was it?
and
No,
NFL
400,000?
It was a lot. It was so
a lot of
like
people all at
Mhm.
once.
Yeah.
I think it was 600,000.
600?
it was up there. When y'all look that up, because I know it was insane, and like
Travis Scott.
that really kind of brought the mainstream's attention to it, because I remember the news were reporting on it for like a week, where like new art or like new celebrity ninja. And I'm like, bro, this kid's been famous on the internet for a minute, but like the fact that he played with mainstream
Drake,
celebrities,
Travis Scott.
yeah, and like it did a lot for Twitch. It brought people that wouldn't have done. And I know Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco has brought a lot of viewers in that.
Post Malone also streams.
Post Malone also
streams.
yeah.
Stay stony.
Post Malone's on a lot of stuff. Like I have one of my favorite YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
He's constantly on their podcast.
H3H3.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's friends with them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh no, and a guy called Cody Ko.
Cody Ko.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also friends with them. It's pretty. He's a pretty cool. He seems like a pretty cool guy.
There's a lot of overlap now with internet personalities and celebrities. Like Dylan Francis is like an actual like artist, and he hangs out with a bunch of ex-Viners.
He's a DJ, right?
Yeah.
667,000.
I knew it. It was way
That's
higher
ridiculous.
than 400K.
Okay, congratulations. Would you like
Yes,
a gold
sir.
sticker?
My memory does not deceive me.
But yeah, nah, it's insane. Like, honestly, they don't need the Olympics. They have their own audience. They have
They're
their
doing
own
great.
sponsorships.
And
they
every
have their own
game has like
everything.
its own World Cup and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Rocket
Yeah.
League and the Rocket League, isn't that going on right now?
I don't know if it's going on right now, but like it's called RLCS, and then last year's prize pool for it was $1 million, and each team is 3 players, so $1 million, divide that by 3. You know, like it's crazy just for a game with cars and a ball. Like
It's literally car
years
soccer.
ago, this would have been impossible, but
Here we
car
are.
soccer on steroids because
Yeah, it's a
weird.
lot.
playing around.
You mentioned earlier how they should have players from all over the world compete for like
Yeah,
who's the greatest.
right.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
That's
so
already
like-
a thing.
Right. So Dota 2 has actually this thing been going on the international, which is like the biggest
Yeah.
thing, and they take players from every single country,
Mm-hmm.
like China, EU, NA, SA,
Yeah.
and they all compete in teams, and it's like who's the best in this whole world of this game,
Right.
and that's why the prize pool is so high.
And yeah, it would be insane to see that for more than one game, because like the Olympics are like they go on for a week, right? And it's like non-stop. Imagine that.
Longer.
It's like a
It's
month and a
longer,
half.
yeah.
Almost.
Yes, sir.
Either way, like it's consistent, right? There's so much going on all the time.
All day.
All
like the whole
day,
entire
yeah.
day.
I know.
It's
So
beautiful. I
many
love
different
the
sports.
The
Olympics.
argument. I love the Winter Olympics.
I like them too.
That's
I
my
do like
favorite.
them.
I know, like the argument has always been, just like, do video games deserve this amount of money?
Yes.
Right?
Oh
I remember,
no.
like one time we were on here not so long ago.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
heavily discussed. Like,
Yeah, it was.
is this right? Is this ethical? Like,
Yeah.
shouldn't
How have
doctors
y'all's
get paid more?
Opinions change, yeah, or
It's still the same.
have they not?
Still
What's
the
my
same for
opinion
me.
on that?
Yeah.
I think there's a very few amount of people, considering how much gamers are out there, how much people actually play a game.
Yeah,
There's very few people that actually make money off of it.
but the ones that do make,
And they make a
so
lot of money.
much.
So that's why I don't think it's too bad, because they
Mhm.
do have to grind for it. They do have to work for it. Like, believe it.
It
Like,
doesn't
I know
just come.
it doesn't just come.
Yeah.
They're not just naturally
yeah,
good at
and
the game.
it's very much so like the viewer, the audience is paying their
Yep.
players
Mhm.
directly, especially with platforms like Twitch. Like, I mean, Twitch
Yeah,
obviously makes
they
money
just
from
give
it,
them
but-
money.
Mhm.
I mean, subscriptions, bro. You're literally paying
To
your
watch them.
your person just to hang out in the chat
Yeah.
and use emotes.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, or like I've seen they give them so many bits. They're just like, he gets a nice
Oh
kill.
my
They're like,
God,
here are
right?
like 20,000 bits. I'm like,
That's like $200.
you have the money to give 20,000 bits. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, that's wild.
I feel like the people who are getting paid, they're not at fault. Like, I think, you know, it's
Yeah.
the people, like you said, are giving the money. Like, they should be the ones that.
It's the same discussion as with entertainers, right? People are
Mm-hmm.
like, like actors deserve these huge mansions when there's doctors living in like rundown apartments. It's like, that's the system. It might not
That's
be fair,
the
but
system,
like
bro.
people pay for entertainment. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
But
I
I
mean,
mean, every
it-
doctor gets good money though.
Yeah,
like,
but-
almost every
Yes,
doctor.
sir. Yes, sir. They do.
I feel like, in theory, it's easier to become like entertainer, like
Mhm.
like a gamer or whatever
Right.
influencer you want to call it, than a
Sure.
doctor. So I feel like I don't
Wait,
know.
it's easier. You said?
No,
Yeah,
I
I'd say
think
so.
I think
I don't.
it has a lot more to do with luck though.
Yeah, I think.
I
so
think
too.
the especially nowadays the industry for entertainment is so oversaturated. I think it's not hard to get into it, but it's hard to be
Good at it.
recognized for it.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with luck.
I don't know if you compare it to like 15 years of school. Like,
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. In the terms that anyone
Yeah.
can literally just
That's what I'm
turn on your
saying.
computer and be an interesting enough person to make it
Mhm.
big. Sure, yes. In that case, it is easier, but it's harder to make it big, you know, because those 15 years in school, you're most likely going to make that money back at some point in the foreseeable future because you have a solid career path. But yeah, it's very much luck driven when it comes to entertainment.
Very luck driven.
All right. Well, as our time draws to a close, Chris, hit us with one final song. It's a new song that dropped recently. Frank Ocean is back.
What happened?
Cris, what's going on?
Frank Ocean is back, Chris. Did you not say you had a song that you wanted us to play?
Yes.
What song?
He's released a new single called DHL.
Anything you want to say about it?
I love it. And it was about time.
All right, well, let's listen to that. Here is DHL by Frank Ocean. Good show, guys. Thank you, as always, for
Thanks
coming.
for having us.
Anything you would like to say to close us out? Any final statements, remarks?
Next time's ASMR, please.
We're never doing ASMR.
I have one last shout out, a quick shout out to my boy Jao back in Georgia. His birthday was the other day. Happy birthday to Jao. Happy 19. Wish I was there. You would know the vibes, man. That's it.
Wait, I got a shout out too. It's
All
from my
right.
girl who's back home listening.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
because
Aw,
she listens when I'm on. So.
love that.
Oh man, I guess we're shouting out our girls, Jojo.
There you
Shout out
go.
to my,
She and
my
Laurel.
Second girl, Chris.
Yes.
All right, that is enough airtime
Christopher.
for y'all. That's not even the right
I
one.
know.
Chris, you
Yes.
want to just take that?
It's usually when Toxic Rocket League comes out that he's called Christopher.
It's very disrespectful. I don't like it.
It's not his name, man. All right, well, as always, thanks for listening. This has been 90.1 WECS FM. This has been Podcast with a K, and this is Carla with a K signing off. Have a fantastic week.